It's time for us to have just a little heart to heart. So, if you don't know me, I'm Amy. I'm a metabolic health coach for women, and I am also on my own journey to overcome my eating issues, my relationship with food, and to get my metabolic health as good as possible because I want my body and my mind to feel good. But I'm not perfect, and I know how hard it is to be perfect and expect yourself to be perfect. And I still struggle when I'm really triggered and I don't know how to move those feelings with turning back to food. Something that so many of us learn at a really young age is to use food to manage our emotions. And I have PTSD. This is something that has been a fairly recent diagnosis in my life with my ADHD diagnosis. And what happens when I get more triggered than I'm currently good at managing is I go into freeze. So you will notice last week that there wasn't a lot of me around. I wasn't super responsive in the comments. I wasn't making videos. I was in what they call a functional freeze, meaning that I could take care of my family. I was doing things, but growing my business is this big dream of mine. And my brain was telling me last week that I didn't deserve it, that it was playing out all of the old messages in my head about when they get to know me, they're not going to like me. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. All these things. And because what was triggered really hard for me was that I'm not good enough. And what happens when I get that I'm not good enough feeling in my body, like at that level that I can't just shut it down, is that I stop working towards the things that are important to me, right? My business, my health. And so this weekend, I finally was able to get to a place where I could just let it out. And I talked with my husband and I cried and I said the words I wasn't letting myself say or process. And I just let them out and I gave them back to the universe, God, whoever you believe in. And I released it. And I went to bed early and I woke up this morning and the freeze was gone. I felt like I wanted to do this, that I could do this, that I deserved, that I was good enough to help people. And I want to share this heart to heart because I always want you to know that, like, I'm a human first. And as much as I would like this weight loss and health thing to be this linear journey, it is so tied to our mental health. Like, and so many of us just avoid that topic. We avoid dealing with the things that hold us back because we don't want it to be true, or shame. So instead of me for a long time dealing with these emotions and working through them in therapy, I just kept telling myself it was a problem with me. It was a problem with my willpower. It was a problem with me in like a moral sense. You know, I had made promises to my husband that I would get this business going and it would be this thing that would support our family and he could figure out what his passion was. And 3 years later, it's not yet that. And so then I had this guilt for a long time because I keep freezing. I may have momentum and then I freeze. I have momentum and then I freeze. And my health has been that same way. I am at that 200-pound place where I know that if I just dig in a little bit, I will get to Wonderland. I will get there and it will be incredible. I don't know, it's gonna make zero difference really in like the grand scheme of things, but in your head, you think it's some sort of huge milestone. And last time I got to 200 pounds, I didn't love myself on the other side and I freaked out and I put 60 some pounds back on. And this time I know it's going to be different because instead of going into freezes that would last months, it was a week. It was a week. In like the grand scheme of things, it was a week out of my life where I was frozen before I was able to figure out those feelings that I was having, communicate them and get them out. I know this is kind of a little bit all over the place, but I wanted to share. I really wanted to share because I want you to know that there's always a way through, even when in a moment it doesn't feel like you can get through it. when you feel like you just want to throw it all away, go get a day job, something like that. But there's a way through, and it's really important for us to really have honesty with ourselves about what we're feeling, allow ourselves to feel it. And this is just getting more rambly, so I think I've probably said what I need to say. I'm gonna say goodbye.